What we're going to talk about the faux pas in speaking. Once you have your signature talk and you just aren't ready yet, you're able to discover things through people kind of demoing that it for you, right? And you spot where they're stuck.
Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be an area where you're going to stumble over your words or stumble over what you're doing. But I think what I'm trying to do in the group program that we have is get to those problems before they're problems. So, why we do the blueprint is that we're holding to a script. We're preparing a script. We're preparing the outcome we want to have. And from there, we're able to really lean into the final result. Because without that preparation, people will come in, they'll go off tangent, they won't really know where to take the audience, and they won't know the action that they want the audience to have at the end. So it's super critical to start the preparation process.
Absolutely. And when you're listening, what things do you like spot from the beginning of their talk that causes you to cringe?
I mean, filler words. Right. Like guys, whatever it is you're going to say over and over again is going to be a distractor to your audience. So we need to be very mindful of how many filler words we use. How irritating can we be potentially to the listener with our filler words, but also the tone of our voice, the way we're articulating our words. We want people to listen. We want them to understand what we're saying. And that is something that we work on. The other piece to this is your pace, your speed. So we think that when we speak slowly, we're boring people. But really, what it gives the listener the opportunity to do is really hear you rather than get to a place where you're speaking so fast that nobody can really understand you. And then at the end of the talk, you don't know what anyone's saying. And so you just continue to talk like this. And that's not helpful. It's not helpful for people to speed up. It's much more effective to pause and to really hit home on some of those main topics.
And it's a little different with the podcast. That's the other thing. It's a little bit different because you can't be so slow, yet you can't be so fast. Speaking on like talking like this or going like this. So you can kind of get into this situation. What makes you feel the best and comfortable, and have you delivered? When you
Yeah.
get in front of an audience and that audience grows and grows, you know you've done something. But if you lose half the audience and no one has any Q&A at the end, you
Yeah.
really have not done your job. If you've not kept them, especially if they have a place to go. And when we did our audio on Thursday for the first time, we had a bigger audience than we began the day with. Even though it's not a large one because we're just starting this LinkedIn audio series, which I can't believe people would not want to get chat GBT, I mean AI tips. But that's the thing. You have to engage that audience throughout the process. You have to lead them through. And I guess I've learned that all in teaching that there is an audience, you have to listen to that audience and you have to be able to explain things and you have to ask the right questions because it's not always you talking the whole time either.
Exactly. It is a back and forth that you want to have with your audience. And depending on what venue you're at, you may have the ability to interact even further with your audience, build in spaces in your signature talk, or if you're doing a training for that interaction, for the questions, because those interactions are going to help the learner and the listener remember what you're saying even more.
You know what I like if you ask me to do a talk tomorrow, I'd say I only want 10 minutes to talk. I want to open up for questions. They want my expertise.
Exactly.
Like you pick a topic, you really want to jump in, tell the stories, a bunch of stories, and just say, go ahead, questions. Because people want interaction. And if they get a Q&A and they can get it for 20 to 30 minutes, it's worth its weight in gold, especially if you have something secret sauce. Like let's talk social media and let's talk marketing or let's talk AI. Let's talk some hot topic that you are at least more knowledgeable than your audience. Then, or they want to have a dialogue back and forth because it's controversial, meaning there are people that might not believe in what you're saying. So, for example, I'll say, automation is dead is my topic. What? That's not true according to so and so and so and so. Then you're able to put your expertise out there. It's fine. It's kind of like saying, you know what? The selfie, which I always pushed, and then you had to validate for me on Clubhouse when I was in Breakfast with Champions, that the selfie is still better than a video. And
Wow.
people would say, I've been saying that all the time. Just look at the interaction. Look at who really wants to look at things. Look at your news feed. Video has been pushed to somewhere else for people that really like video. But even though videos are created more than the other, the best and most engaged posts are still selfies. But people don't know that. So they don't spend their money on going to get photographers. But see, that would be something that would get people saying, no, that's not true. No, you need both. But really, if you're going to constantly just post videos, your audience is going to get bored of you very quickly. And then the value, oh, do email marketing. But see, this is where you have to really get something out there that is different when you're speaking. Like, I mean, the people you work with, Julie, I mean, I'm blown away because they have an expertise area that, people would pay thousands of dollars for a course just to have them on stage. And they have to know that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different kinds of people that are coming to the program, and the secret next step for them, it's not a secret, is their signature talk, getting that ready, because at any point in time, anyone could be called to do something.
I'll give you an example. I am going to jump on this Facebook post after later. Hopefully, no one's jumped on it. One of my former clients put on, do you know any Eventbrite experts? And I'm like, well, my team set up Eventbrite pages. I wouldn't call us their experts, but we ran them. But who knows if there's anyone out there? You always, and then don't be afraid to put yourself out there, regardless of social media post, a comment, anything. Please put yourself out there because you never know when you're going to meet someone really exciting that is going to transform your life and how
That's right.
things can change in seconds. I love these ideas. I have to listen about my filler words, and can say and count those as many times as I can. But ultimately, and when you're doing radio or podcasting, you have to do a little bit more fillers. But if you're going in a signature talk, especially when you said about a PowerPoint or slide presentation, there's no reason you should have ums and ahs. None. And then you go to the questions and it's golden. And
Yeah. I mean, I don't believe that there's ever a reason for ums and ahs, but the replacement is a pause.
well, is but considered a and ah?
It depends how often you use it. Well, I think what it is when you use a word a lot, it becomes a filler word because it's your go-to. So you're just replacing your with but.
Ah.
And you could use it. You can use it. I'm not saying you can't use any of them. Maybe and ah. Ah is like, oh, I'm in awe, maybe, but is not really a word. It's not a word. So we don't want to use it because it doesn't give us the credibility
All right, what
that
about
we
the
need.
the VidIO will tell you how many ums and ahs are you doing? Because if you're not using Descript, which I think makes it sound stupid sometimes when you replace your filler words with Descript, it's good, but if you have a trained voice, you'll know that there were those. But look at just on Descript, I mean on VidIO, and see how many words when you're burning your captions into your reels to see how many times you're doing it. All right. Well, it's such a great tips. Best place, julieriga.com. And to go ahead and go next Monday to your event, you just go
7
where?
p.m. Eastern. If you just message me on LinkedIn, I will send you the invitation. And you can also get there by going to julieriga.com/get ready.
All right. You're listening and watching